A very good afternoon, all. We have gathered for yet another interesting Ecotech talk of Exneco today. And we have with us Mr. Pankaj Kumar Gupta, who is the Chief Sustainability Officer of Ensaver Technologies Private Limited. Mr. Gupta has 34 years of experience as a business leader in diverse and varied fields: energy and environment management of building services and technology, air conditioning and refrigeration, building automation, solar energy, cold chain, and sustainability management. Management services, both with large manufacturing distribution, multinational companies, and small to mid-size international consulting company. He's also a governing body member and secretary of SHIHA, which is a leading global NGO working in the area of preservation of a healthy environment, ecology, heritage, and sustainable development. His experience and knowledge makes him an industrial stalwart, and we are honored to have him with us today at our Ecotech Talk. Our topic for the day is Disruptive Sustainability, the New Normal for a Greener Future. Exneco stands for Exploration, Networking, and Collaboration, and we are trying to build a platform for sustainable enterprises for the common good. Myself, Shrestha, and I'm the host of the day. We welcome you, Mr. Gupta, to our Ecotech Talk. And my first question to you is, 30 years of experience in technology and sustainability domain, kindly enlighten us on the key industrial changes taking place.
Thank you, Shrestha, for your introduction. And as you said, the topic of the today is disruptive sustainability, the new normal for a greener future, which is a very interesting topic in the world of today. And to answer your question of what are the key industrial changes which are taking place, so I will be very specific to my industry, which is HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning domain. Although industry in general is also part of it, and similar changes are happening in all the industry, be it automotive industry, pharmaceutical industry, because HVAC is something which is applicable for all the industry across several verticals. So one of the key things which I'm finding in last 30 years is how people are becoming more conscious about life cycle cost of the project or the product, and with the consciousness on energy efficiency. Energy efficiency has always been a very great topic for selling particular product or services. But in last few years, the way energy efficiency is getting dominance over other key unique features of the products and services is something to watch, and something which must be inbuilt within the product and services to be able to sell in the market. So I would say the key changes, industrial changes, are life cycle cost, energy efficiency, and green product. When it say green means environmentally friendly product, people, whether they are so much aware of the technical terminologies, but they do look at whether it is environment friendly product, whether it is a green refrigerant. In our industry, they look at those logos, whether it is Bureau of Energy Efficiency, star rated or not. So the consciousness around energy efficiency and green products is something which I'm seeing in last 30 years has changed a lot in last 5 or 7 years.
That's great. That's really great. So now, when we talk about these green products and the view towards having these kind of products in the market, my next question is about what unique contribution is your present company, Ensaver Technologies, is making in a sustainability domain?
The Ensaver Technologies is is a 13 years old company founded by a very young entrepreneur called Dinesh Semwal, who started this company with the vision of creating value-added services in HVAC market. And this company is providing products and services around air, water, and energy. And these are the three things which you need in a built environment, whether the air quality, which is very important in the world of today after the corona, which we saw in 21, 22, 2021, how it affected the health of individuals. And we are working in offices where how indoor air quality is affecting the health of the occupant or workers in our house. So we provide services around indoor air quality products, which kills the germicidal infections. Then we also have products around energy efficiency, which utilization of solar energy, utilization of thermal storage, products. So these products and services around these three things, which is an air, water, and energy, are the key offerings from Ensavia Technologies to meet today's demand and provide a sustainable solutions for built environment, which is buildings for verticals like hospitality, healthcare, or institutional, or data centers, which is a huge market of today, which requires a lot of comfort, air conditioning, and humidity control. So all these products and services is offered by Ensavia Technologies to meet the present demand of cooling and comfort at low cost, low energy consumption, and yet healthy air. These are the services.
Yeah, that's very interesting. In fact, that's the industry of tomorrow, which is basically needed. And it's good to know that Ensaver technology does have such good products available. So now, my next question is, we all know that Tesla is a disruptive innovator in the automotive industry due to its electric vehicles. So can this be called a disruptive sustainability as well?
I beg to differ when it comes to Tesla and terming it as, disruptive. It is a sustainable innovation, but the term disruptive, if you see the meaning of disruption, disruptive innovation, uh, according to me, should be something which brings a radical change and which could create new markets, which could create a new market, but at the same time it reduces the cost. Look at Tesla, is a very high cost product. It is, although it's a superior product, but it is scaling up that innovation. It is not, I would not call it disruption, because its reach is to the same market who can afford it. It's an expensive product. Electrical vehicles have always been there. So I would not term as a disruptive, that they created something which changed the whole EV scenario. It might have raised the quality. Yes, the Tesla quality is good, and it may encourage other good brands which are entering EV. Everybody is entering EV, all manufacturers. But I don't think it has created a radical change which can create new markets. So this is my opinion, personal opinion. It may be termed in internet as a disruptive product, but I call disruption very differently, like the Netflix. If you
Okay.
in the general world, Netflix could has changed the way we watch entertainment. We see movies. We see on a subscription based model. Similar examples I will quote in our industry, in our how disruption is uh, something, like mobile industry. When smartphones came, that's something which Reliance did by giving low cost mobile phones which could reach masses. So something which created new market of somebody who was not able to afford it. So are we still able to afford Tesla car? Probably not. So
No.
I think it is far from disruption at present.
Okay. So, my next question is, what role disruptive sustainability will play in creating a greener future? Please enlighten us with few examples.
Okay, so if you, as I said, the general, I will come specific to my industry, which is HVAC. But before that, for people to understand disruptive, because it is sustainability is something which we talk in definition terms, that something which is for the need of the future. So there is a rate of change. There is a denominator of time in having sustainability in mathematical terms, that we should be able to consume something, so that we factor in time, that we are able to give it to our future generations. That's something that is, we call it, rate of utilization of a product uh, should be such, or that it is able to remain for our future generations. But the word disruptive sustainability is something which is different, which is, as I said, should be able to create new markets. We are living in a world where disruption is should not be taken as a negative term. I mean, people get disrupted by certain odds happening, in maybe earthquake or maybe tsunami or flood. But in a technological term, the disruption can happen with the technology intervention or with change of business model. For example, in our industry of HVAC, if you want comfort air conditioning, because comfort air conditioning is no more a luxury term, it's a need, because the way temperature is rising globally, the global warming or climate change, whatever you name it, it is real, and it is, we are seeing the way the ambient temperature this year in North India was touching 50. So for us to survive, we definitely need some cooling, or whether it is evaporative cooling by just a spray of water, or it is by air conditioning, which is utilization of thermodynamics to get air conditioned air. So the way disruption is happening in our industry is everybody is not able to afford still cooling. If so, there are models available in the country where globally cooling as a service. For example, like in software world, you call it software as a service. So these are the terms in our cooling industry. We call it cooling as a service, where if you are interested to air condition a building, but you don't have capital because you are a startup company and you are investing a lot of money in resources to develop product which can be built and take time, maybe 2 years or 3 years, and but you still need people to be comfortable and provide them air conditioning. So it is a subscription based model where you pay a rental charge, and that service provider will provide cooling at fixed charge, and asset will belong to that particular supplier. So
Okay.
these are the cooling as a service is a disruption to
Yes.
reach new markets, which otherwise
Could
was
not afford
not
it.
affordable by those people who are
Yes.
willing, but they can't afford it.
Yes.
So this is called disruption in our industry. Similarly, there are models where I want
Human.
to do energy efficiency, because energy efficiency is something which is the demand of the today to meet climate change goal. Like India has goal that by 2070 it will be net zero. But how? Unless every organization is having some plan on energy efficiency. Now I have energy efficiency scope to reduce energy consumption, but I don't have money to invest in energy efficiency. So there are services available called energy services company. It is called ESCO. So the ESCO models are available, which suppose the building has 30% energy efficiency scope. So that 30% will be calculated in terms of rupees, and that will be shared between the owner and the supplier so that he can invest in the equipment and get the payment for the equipment he invested for a long term, 15 years, 20 years kind of contract. So these I think are disruption, which enables others to adopt those technologies or business models or even regulatory things like the regulatory norms, the changing that you should be able to have a greener product. You should not be having those refrigerants or gases which are not environment friendly. Now, if I have to meet those regulations of the government, uh, I must have money to invest. Now, if I don't have, but I have to still comply, then these models are available to enable you to adopt those.
Very true. Even when we talk of maybe like small sachets of shampoos being sold in place of the whole bottle, so that people belonging to lower middle class can afford it. So that can also be called one kind of disruption, if
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
not wrong.
yes, it can be a, how the product can be packaged to meet newer markets, which is, some people for traveling they need small sachet. So yes, that could be called a disruption, no doubt about it.
So in sustainability also we can have this kind of disruption where clean air was not available to certain section, and they take it on rent instead of investing in machineries and equipments, and this kind of sustainable disruption can take place.
Correct.
And when we talk of this kind of sustainable disruption, how cost effective will that be?
See, definitely the if you see on a long term basis, because the asset which you buy uh, as a first cost, meaning if you are air conditioning an office for a startup company and you have to invest, say, 10 lakh rupees to get air conditioning of minimum office space. Now that is the upfront cost if you pay. But if you are going in these models of cooling as a service or shared saving models kind of thing, definitely you have to pay some interest cost, capital cost. For long term, it will be a little more expensive than a upfront cost, but you have no choice but to get it, and there are models available. So it is meeting your requirement with the available models which are there, and that will be profitable to the all three parties involved. That is the user, the supplier, and the enabler of that financial institution which is providing the service. So it's a tripartite agreement between these three entities, and definitely each will be working for profits. It's not that they're doing some charity, but it is meeting the requirement in a sustainable way. At the same time, making them affordable.
Yeah. So, what are the challenges that in such a scenario that the companies or the tri-parties might face in such a scenario?
See, the problem which occurs in such scenarios is that uh, these contracts are long term. Now, when I say long term, meaning 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, the if it is based like ESCO, which is energy services company contract, which is if I was not able to afford energy efficiency and I'm bringing an ESCO company is providing energy efficient solution uh, to the end user through an agency, which is a contracting company. Now, they create a baseline that your building is consuming X amount of energy at present when I'm entering into contract. Now, I will reach X minus certain percentage, and that will fund my capital cost. Now your building scenario may change, that if you add certain block, you add certain, if it's a hospital, you make general ward to a ICU ward, and that ICU require different type of air conditioning. So for these to protect, the challenge is how we are having measurement and verification protocol, and how it is inbuilt into your contract, that in case of any change which may change the baseline energy consumption, is incorporated in the contract, so that there is no dispute. So these are also protected by a protocol called measurement and verification protocol, which both parties should agree that if there is any change, that change will be incorporated as an addendum to the contract. So these are few challenges which definitely are not so big challenges, but people should be aware of that. People should take steps so that it doesn't enter into dispute at the later date.
Yes, that's really true. And again, talking about these the disruptive sustainability, how it can give a greener future. How can it lead to a greener future?
Any, as I said, sustainable, and we are adding a prefix disruptive. Now, either the disruption is to create new markets, that is lowering the cost, providing services to people who are not able to afford it, or a disruption can be that it is more environment friendly, and the technological intervention of disruption was that the regulations have changed, and the regulations are have become such that if you don't comply to those regulations, you can't sell in the market. For example, in air conditioning industry, if you are making any air conditioner with R22 refrigerant, you can't sell the product in the market. So the disruption in that term is that you have to adopt to new refrigerants, you have to invest in technology, and then able to sell that. So these are the things which disruption will, um, in a environment friendly way, it will help in mitigation of greenhouse gas emissions, which is the cause of concern, and government has a target. In India, there is a uh, India Cooling Action Plan, and the India Cooling Action Plan is struggling that how it can meet the cooling demand. Like in this last summer in India, the peak demand of power had risen so much that there was failures. There were failures. The
Yes.
power demand is was not able to meet the sudden heat of weather, and the switching off of air conditioning systems. So there has to be a grid balance, and all those things are requirements that India is able to, how it will meet the demand of peak demand due to weather conditions. So these are the kind of disruptions, or say innovation to meet those unexpected demand. How your products and services are able to achieve is something, that the air conditioning companies are now marketing that our product is able to withstand temperatures of 52 to 54 degrees centigrade also. So these are the disruptions to meet environmental challenges. So
Yes.
environmental challenges are also becoming the key requirement for providers to disrupt technologies.
Very true. So, when government has so many rules and regulations, what, as an industry expert, you would like to say that what more rules and regulations government should bring in, and what facilities should government provide to particularly this kind of industry, so that it becomes more sustainable in the near future?
You see, the government is already doing a lot of effort on bringing the star rating, which is under Bureau of Energy Efficiency, which is a part of Ministry of Power. And every year they are raising the bar, meaning the product which was five-star rated in 2021 is now three-star rated in 2024.
Okay.
So they have raised the bar that I will not certify a product if it is not meeting the requirement of energy efficiency. So every year they are raising. So it is challenging the manufacturers to be more, to be more energy efficient, to be much better.
Yes.
And these challenges have to be on a constant basis, because the driver to innovation is a challenge. So the challenge has to be created by government in terms of greener norms, in terms of certain things are still voluntary in our country. That, like, green building code was voluntary a few years back. ECBC, Energy EC Act was voluntary, but now these have become mandatory. So people are following. People Things are changing fast in our country in space of energy efficiency, and which is something which is a good step. And how we are able to sustain those changes is a question.
True. So, I mean, the last question, but not the least, it's like, what is your message to young entrepreneurs in creating sustainable Bharat?
It's a very, very good question, and definitely India has the largest population of youngsters, and these are the future pillars of achieving 2070 India net zero goal. And if those young people, young students, or young entrepreneurs, or young employees are conscious about energy efficiency, buying product behaviors, their own behaviors in terms of adopting technologies, is something which can make India achieve 2070 plan. But the message to entrepreneurs, according to my opinion, is that entrepreneurs are always struggling to make a product which can be scaled up. And all investors, when they invest in a company, the question they ask is it scalable?
Yes.
And because it is the scalability which determines the return. Now, yes, definitely, when somebody is investing, he is looking at returns, and that is how he's asking for scalability. Now, for India to achieve those environmental goals, and even for our own improvement in terms of aesthetics, uh, in terms of development at each level, like we see certain cities, certain parts of cities are very good, and the certain parts are really so bad that even you don't want even to go there. So for that, the models which should come from entrepreneurs should be more hyper local, meaning it should be 2 square kilometer based, 3 square kilometer based, like this big basket, and they have dark stores catering to few square kilometers, and they're delivering all this. So they are looking at hyper local market, and their data science is telling that what is the consumer behavior there, what are they buying, and based on that they are opening the stores, meeting the local demand. Now, similarly, in terms of infrastructure, if you see those models which entrepreneurs are bringing, uh, be it people who are doing road repairs, or people who are constructing construction in the construction business, or people who are in the providers of repairs and services, they or people who are developing product for a very niche market of they should also look at hyper local markets in each domain of their product. And the scalability can be also determined, or a new benchmark should be created, which should be reach. meaning the population density of that 2 square kilometer is, say, um, 5,000 people in that 2 square kilometer area. Now, how my a product or services are able to reach that population density should also be factored in pitching for your investors or for your products or services to have a good sales results. Because if you are making a product in certain area and your scale is in terms of global scale or in terms of national scale, how much change you are bringing at the hyper local segment is not determined. In terms of revenue, yes, it will be very good that you scaled it up at global level, but for a sustainability to India to be more cleaner, greener, and energy efficient at each and every location, or aesthetically looking good at each place, where it's not that we are so bad in some parts and so good at one part. This model should be more hyper local, and the benchmark should be more of reach rather than just the scale. So the young entrepreneur should be able to look at from the revenue side to also how societal change they are bringing, how their impact of the product is on a society level, in bringing India to a level which can be called as a developed nation in times to come.
True, very true. So it was a great input that I'm sure all the viewers and young entrepreneurs would keep in mind while working on their new projects. And it was really great knowing about sustainability and the products that you have talked of, and how the parameters are changing every year, and what government should do in order to support the enterprises. It was really great talking to you, sir. Thank you so much for your inputs.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity, and it was really a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank
Thank
you, sir.
you.
Yeah.
Bye.